Hi, welcome to my current events presentation. I'm going to be talking about what offices might look like in a post-COVID-19 world, courtesy of this BBC article. Um, and let's get into it. So, as cities, states, provinces, and countries they start to loosen restrictions on social distancing and isolation, uh, people are going to start returning to work, and things are starting to go back to a kind of a normal. Workers looking forward to their return to office. Should brace themselves for new protocols. Uh, so, in this post pandemic workplace, would result in offices looking different. So, some of the main things that's going to be happening is there is going to be more personal space for workers. There's obviously going to be mandatory masks, um, shift work, and you might have to do things like uh, get a temperature check, or be in a crowd-free elevator or something like that. And this article helps us explain about that. So one of the main things uh, that people who work in the commercial real estate industry are advocating for is having more personal space. So once the staff arrives, there will be more breathing room for them. Seating plans are going to be modified so people can maintain physical distance. Uh, and this is going to reverse a decade-long trend of just cramming everybody into a small workspace of cubicles, um, so people can collaborate and stuff. But this idea might have to be abandoned, and you might have to, in some workplaces, dividers between cubicles uh, might have to be abandoned, and you might have to implement a office design that's more that allows more physical distancing to take place. And some studies have even shown that uh, in in offices, a pandemic is more likely to spread if there's not enough personal space. The term office plague has become common before uh, COVID-19 had described the phenomena when a cold or flu spreads among an entire pod of workers, and there's been a common phenomenon that has been noted. Shift work. So, amid fears of COVID-19 contagion, uh, those types of densely populated indoors uh, environments seem downright dangerous. And s- and and several commercial real estate firms uh, think the number one job of uh, transitioning back to work is rethinking density. Is how many people can you fit into workspace, or how many people are going in and out of the workplace, and it's going to be crucial for uh, mainly uh, organizations to realize that you need to start using less and less people to get more and more work done. So people have to be organized in a way that their shifts are that there are not a lot of people in every single shift, but they are being used as as efficiently as possible. Temperature checks. So in this post COVID-19 world, we might have to get used to the reality that if people are starting to get sick more and more often, you might have to limit some people into getting entry into an office workspace, uh, and this would result in doing temperature checks before they arrive into the office to make sure that they are not sick, or they don't have any type of fever, and they or they're not at risk of contracting any viruses in general. Hallways, as we know, in dense places, offices are very dense spaces, so we might have to, in some way, restructure the way people travel in an office. So that might lead to only one-way hallways, uh, where people can only walk in one direction, and you cannot. There can be two aisles of people walking back and forth, essentially, which would help make physical distancing and social distancing better in that sense. And thank you so much for listening. These are some of the uh, advice this is some of the advice that's been given by major commercial real estate uh, in Canada and around the world to help transition people from a post-pandemic COVID-19 world to a normal world again. Thank you.